Parliament's a place where legislation is made that affects you, your family and your community. That's why I peel the lid back on Westminster each week to blow away the cobwebs and shine a light on the House of Commons. And it's not always boring. For example, we had a fiery Opposition Day debate on Wednesday about the government's decision to change the goalposts on retirement age for women. Now, before you watch this clip of a Tory MP, bear in mind the wage for apprentices is set at £3.50 per hour, and that by definition, an apprenticeship is meant for those people starting their careers, not ending them.
So I was very surprised to hear that it might be an insult for a woman aged 65 to be offered an apprenticeship. I know women who are 65 who find that a great opportunity.
It's a jaw-dropping thing to say, not lost on my colleague Laura Pidcock.
The idea that a solution, as members have said, that you would draw down your bus pass, or somehow that it's not offensive, and I look at the honourable member, that it is not offensive to offer a woman at 65 an apprenticeship is completely out of touch with this nation. I am offended on behalf of those women.
Theresa May missed PMQs this week because she was in Saudi Arabia. She arrived there the day after that barbaric regime had executed 7 more people, taking the total number of executions to 132 this year alone. But the PM ignores the brutality of the Saudi regime and is keen to continue selling weapons that are being used to cause death and destruction in Yemen, a country that's now facing widespread famine. An estimated 2 million people suffer from domestic violence in this country. So it's welcome news that legislation is being proposed to give greater access to justice for survivors. But this week, Women's Aid highlighted that social security cuts will force 39% of refuges to close, leaving 4,000 women and children at risk. Earlier this week, bankers who caused the catastrophic financial crash in 2008 warned against electing a Labour government. And the Chancellor has previously said that Labour poses an existential threat to our economic system. Yeah, damn right we do. Jeremy Corbyn's repeatedly made it clear that Labour's going to create an economy that works for the many, not just the few. Some of the city slickers hit back at Jeremy Corbyn, including Sergio Emotti, the head of the Swiss bank UBS. He said Labour's narrative was fueled by jealousy over bankers' pay. No, Mr. City Slicker. Labour's narrative is fueled by fairness to make sure you pay your way, and that banks facilitate a productive economy instead of reckless speculation. Earlier this week, I wrote to the Energy Minister to ask what he intends to do about Ofgem's plans to force people who've invested in solar panels to pay more for their energy bills. This will include all the council houses in Derby where Derby Homes have installed solar panels. If this government's serious about tackling climate change and fuel poverty, it must overrule Ofgem's crackpot plan. And finally, on Friday, MPs debated government plans to gerrymander the country's electoral boundaries. During the debate, Tory MP Mark Harper cited the Chartists to make his defence of plans to load the electoral dice in favour of the Conservatives. Now let's get one thing straight, Mr. Harper. The Chartists were a movement of disenfranchised working class people to whom Britain owes its democracy. If it had been left to the Tories of the day, ordinary people would have never been given the vote in the first place. By contrast, Labour wants an inclusive democracy that works for the whole country, not simply the Conservative Party. So that's it for another week. Thanks again for watching, and please share this video.